Okay, I'm gonna try to explain the how they were doing it on the paper. The first thing they got, it was like, okay, this is 1.3. Oh man, euros. Oh wait, euros. Okay, and so the way they got that is, the easy part for step one is just take the first two numbers, and so always remember this is every tenth of a point after the dot. So yeah, it's 1 3, which equals 13 pips. And because remember, a pip is equal to 1/10 of a percentage point. And because there's 13 tenths there, that equals 13 pips. Okay, number two. Oh, number two. Let's see. Oh, hold on. You got to take the difference between the two. And remember what I said. The difference, remember, you're offering 1.30, I think it is, let's see, 1 3 3 okay? And your competitor is offering 1.3, was it 257? I know it says 265, but in reality, let's stick with this number. And so what we do now is we just basically we take this number and subtract it into this. So it's 1.3005. You subtract it and you get 252. So this is what matters. This right here. And what the paper says is, 13 doesn't really go into right here. These are the 13 pips. 13 doesn't really go into 252 evenly. They want to make it go in evenly. So I guess what they did was they decided to go 260 because 13 goes into 260 evenly. And once you get to here, what you do is you take those 13 pips now, and we're going to divide it into 260. And that's going to equal 20 pips. Remember what a pip is, though. A pip is 1/10 of a percent. So, since you've got that, we know it's going to be 20. These are 20 pips. So you're going to go 20 times 0.1. Well, that's going to equal 2. And remember, this is equal to 1/10 of a percent. And so now we have 2%. Okay. The next step they have is step, I think, 4, which is you have a client that comes in and he's like, hey, I want to buy 125,000 shares. Okay. So this is what the client wants to buy as far as, not shares, euros. He wants to buy 125,000 euros. And what's number is what we're going to do is we're going to use the competitor's rate. And we're going to multiply that straight out. 13257. So this gets multiplied straight out. And that's going to equal, I think, 165,710. Now, if you do it in the calculator, it's going to be 712.5. But what they did is they're like, you know what? Let's move this down to the nearest tenth. And so yeah, let's move this down to the nearest tenth. So this equals this. Of course, like I said, there's an extra 2.5, but that doesn't matter because they're just rounding down to the nearest tenth, I guess, to make it more simple. And a way to figure this out is instead of going by 2%, we know that if we use 1%, that this basically is $165,710, right? So the dot is not going to be here anymore. You're going to move it 2 places over. So the dot now goes over here. So we have now 1,657, and it's supposed to be 0.1, but again, they're rounding down and they're not taking that. So now we have 1%, which equals $1,657. But remember, we're not finding the total for 1%, we're finding the total for 2%. And that's going to be, multiply it out, well, that's going to be $3,314. And so, I guess you could just, just forget about this and just think about just multiplying these first two, and you basically have $3,300 you saved the customer. So that's how they did the PIP. That's how they solved it, that whole entire process. I hope this helps you a little